Welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia with Shane Williams and Paul Mason.
G'day folks, welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia. We're at CeMAT 2026. Paul and I are both interviewing this fella here from Robotics Australia Group. His name's also Paul. Paul, welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia.
Thanks, mate. I've always wanted to come on this show. It's my favourite podcast.
Oh, yeah, you're only human, fair enough. There's an amazing amount of stuff going on here today, including our good friend here, Paul. See his name there. Get down here, there's a whole bunch of intralogistic stuff going on. There's multiple knowledge stages going on. We're going to have to run because Paul's on stage in exactly 1 minute over at the ITA stand. So look forward to seeing you soon. Don't miss CeMAT 2026. I'm here with John from OPEX. John, welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia.
Thanks for stopping by.
No, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about old Peltier here, the robotic esky.
So what we've done here is we're the first to bring to market the opportunity to store in our ASRS system, Perfect Kick and or Infinity, and have multiple temperature zones through the utilization of what we call ACTs, or actively cooled totes.
Yep.
So our partnership with Peltier, this particular tote is keeping our bottles of water nice and cold.
Yeah,
if you'd like one. So what we do is we would store this tote within our racking structure, keeping it on a power rail and charged, and keeping it at temperature. It's an IoT device, so you're tracking the temperature at all times.
Yeah.
And so the product inside is safe. When that product is needed for distribution or for an order fulfillment, our robot would bring it down to a goods-to-person station. The operator can open the lid this way, or remove it entirely.
Yeah, right.
So the initial thought was, buy online, pick up in-store grocery applications.
Yep.
But it's gotten a lot of attention from the pharmaceutical space, as well as biochemistry type spaces. So we're really excited about it. We came out with the technology in January of this year. We won a few awards for the innovation in cold chain, and we're really excited to see how it develops in the future.
Amazing. So, I mean, my initial reaction was going to be this would make sense in cold storage, and you've already come up with the 3 or 4 use cases that makes a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah.
What's the feedback from the market like?
So there's a lot of folks that have, the overwhelming majority of their SKUs are ambient temperature stored, but they have a handful of frozen and a handful of chilled. So we can supply all 3 of those temperature zones within the same structure and get the speed and accuracy you get from high-speed goods-to-person solutions.
Yeah. So this will go like sub-zero in terms of Celsius.
Yes.
Yeah. And so what ambient temperature is going to operate at?
So a typical ambient temperature would be how we've operated historically. This is a sample of that goods-to-person system we call Perfect Pick.
Yeah.
And this could be a regular open bin like we see here, or it could be a tray carrying the ACT, and they'll all be stored in the same structure. Right. So the whole room's ambient. If I have maybe 20, let's say I have 12,000 bins in the aisle, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 can be temperature controlled, whether it's frozen or chilled.
Yeah, but in an unrefrigerated factory, that's not going to be a problem because these guys can handle it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Amazing. So you don't have to buy the AC units and the cooler and freezer infrastructure. And if you're leasing a space, that can be very challenging oftentimes. So this unlocks that. And another benefit we see with this is if you have a large freezer and you have all your inventory in it, a lot of times, especially when you get into like the pharma space, very expensive. Yeah. And if something goes wrong with that cooler or freezer,
you lose a lot.
You lose a lot.
Yeah.
And you have to buy a lot in backup systems. With this, less inventory in the tote, less risk of value if the tote should fail.
Yeah. So how many liters is this tote here?
Yeah, I don't know that off the top of my head.
That's cool. And is this the only size?
So the frozen and chilled are the same size on the outside. The chilled is the frozen's a little smaller inside because of additional insulation.
Yeah. And is there a typical or a minimum number of units you need to be running to set your system up?
A very small system would be about 1,000 locations. Yep. They grow up to a single aisle, could be up to 12,000 locations. We have another system we call Infinity that basically we can grow that to an infinite number of bin locations. Yep. And that Infinity system will also support the Peltier technology.
Awesome.
We also have a full line of robotic small item sorters. Another system that we're really excited about is our SureSort X with the ability to extract completed orders. So the idea is I can introduce items one at a time. Those items can weigh up to 9 kilos. Yep. I sort it to a bin, that bin could be a customer order. Once that order is complete, another robot would pull that bin back inside the aisle and deliver it to an I/O point to send it directly to the pack out station. So you're talking about a single touch for a batch pick to sortation type operation.
So, obviously Australia's a fairly big footprint in terms of where you guys are operating out of in Australia. You've got multiple sites, just one, or how do we have?
Multiple customer sites.
Yeah.
We're a US-based company. We manufacture in the US. We have assets here in Australia for service and sales.
Yeah.
We also leverage some partners in the territory. But yeah, we have multiple sites. It's historically centered around Sydney. We do have our first installation here in Melbourne complete and running, and our second one coming soon in the end of August. We'll start that installation.
Yeah. And in terms of sales and service, have you got operatives right across the country?
So the gentleman behind you is our main sales activity for all of APAC, actually.
Okay.
And then we have service technicians that can visit the sites and make repairs for the system, and we scale that up as the territory grows from there.
Amazing.
I love the country. I always enjoy my time here. Sydney, I spent a week in Sydney, now I'm here in Melbourne, and everything's been, other than it being winter, a little chillier than normal. It's fine. From where I come, it's still decent weather. So.
Awesome. Right, John, thanks for being on the show. I really appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you for stopping by.
Naveen, welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia, mate. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
Excellent, wasn't it? This is very cool what you got going on here. You got Humanoids running around a warehouse. At the moment, we've been playing a lot with Humanoids, and we've had some demos running over in the corner, and still quite limited what Humanoids can do, right? Why don't you tell me about how you're making this work in this application and how you thought it all together?
Well, thank you guys for coming and having a look at the Daemon booth. In terms of humanoids, we're not humanoids manufacturers, but what you'll realize is that the humanoid needs a mind or an AI model or a brain to work and understand what kind of work it needs to do.
Yeah.
So at the moment, this one is a showcase with our partnership with UBTech,
Yeah.
and the model that is running is from Daemon. So we've been training a data model for the last 2.5 years, where we've got 8 or 9 different bots, and we've been training them for 8 hours a day with 3 people looking over their shoulders, telling them what to do. So a lot of the movements that you see here is being mimicked by what a person has done in VR, and is teaching the robot to be able to pick up a carton, place it onto a position, or maybe even look at a product and see if the barcode's visible or not. And then just flip it over to get the visible side of the barcode up. So it's really proof of concept in terms of what kind of menial tasks can be taken over by the bots in the future.
Cool. So using the VR to train the bots?
Exactly right.
And what does that look like? And then can they sort of learn from each other and teach each other, or is that one person need to operate each bot?
Yeah, look, we're not there yet in terms of the bots being able to learn from each other or from repetitive tasks themselves. So for every task that it fails, we have to teach it how the right methodology is to do. At the moment, we are limited in terms of that one model being run across all the platforms. So it's a shared database in that sense. Once we've got it right, it can be replicated across any other platform.
Yeah, I see. It looks like a pretty good application of this robot here with the wheels on the bottom, sort of walking around. What kind of payload can we get out of this thing?
So I'll probably give you a slight basic on that is versus the leg, the legs, humanoids, the wheel-based one is probably more suited to a warehouse setting. Because with the floor being unlevel or obstacles on the ground, this works perfectly well. It's balanced. This one does about 20 kilograms from a payload perspective. And it's got about 60 degrees of freedom in terms of different movements it's got. At the moment, it's running at 30% of its actual speed. And I guess for the showroom, what we wanted to do is to have the robot run on one charge for 8 hours in the day. So that's why we've slowed it down so the battery consumption is slightly lower, and we don't need to recharge it.
So 8 hours is still pretty good. A lot of them only running sort of 2-3 hours before recharge,
Correct, So we've only charged this overnight. It takes a 2-hour charge to fully charge, and it'll normally do 6 to 8 hours of work that we've been showing on the show.
Right. So what would this look like in terms of deployment in a warehouse? Would you do sort of a proof of concept to get started? And would you have to map out that warehouse area and sort of pre-program all the areas it has to go to? Correct.
So a lot of the modern robotics that we're seeing now is everyone's looking at SLAM as a way of learning and working. Yes, it's got onboard LiDAR. And again, we have to map the area that it works on, so the tasks are mapped and where it's taking the product is all mapped.
Okay, and I guess in future it can kind of learn a bit more dynamically, use vision to work
Yeah,
out where
look,
it's going.
that's probably something that a lot of smarter people, smarter than me, would know. But I am told that yes, in the future we'll have a different way of teaching it,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll have a different methodology or different model that runs more efficiently.
Yeah, I like your thinking. Yeah, using hardware, applying the brain from you guys from all your development testing.
Yeah.
What other sort of applications are you looking at aside from moving stuff around the warehouse?
What we're showcasing right now is we're also showcasing a unit sorter. So think of a use case for a lot of e-com customers, 3PLs, store distribution.
Yeah.
So we've got a machine which does 1,400 units an hour into 100 locations.
Yeah.
Now that is still a menial task.
Okay.
So now we've developed a version 3 or a Gen 3 of the same bot,
Yeah.
which can actually look at a product, find the barcode and put that barcode in an upright position
Yeah.
and feed it onto that system.
Right.
So imagine that bot heading into a parcel sortation facility
Yeah.
or a mail sortation facility or a letter sortation facility where it's looking at the barcode and sorting it to the right location or
Yeah.
handing it on to the next stage of the process.
Yeah, I see. And I guess you got a bit more flexibility if it's humanoid
Correct.
instead of just being stuck in the one spot.
Absolutely it is. Yeah.
Right. So what's to come following this? What other sort of cool things are you guys working on?
Mate, it's I honestly don't know. It's a lot of cool stuff that you see. The
Yeah.
dancing robots out of China, the dancing dogs out of China, and obviously these bots.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not too sure. In terms of what comes from a model perspective, my hope is that we see robots that can actually do or mimic human work,
Yeah.
and take away the menial tasks and that effort into humanoid.
Yeah, the dirty, dumb, and dangerous we're trying to get rid of, right?
Correct, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Paul.
Cheers. Danielle, welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia. Thanks for coming on the show. So tell us a little bit about this awesome vertical storage system that you've got here.
We start from Modula. Modula is an Italian company born in the 1987 in Modena and successfully growing up in other countries. Now we produce in Italy,
Okay.
US and China.
Right.
This is the last release in our house.
Yeah.
It's a B2C machine, Flexxbox, with the capacity to produce 2,000 order line per hour.
Wow.
So for the first time in its history, Modula go from the B2B to the B2C,
Yeah.
and we are here at CeMAT.
Yeah, cool. Tell us a little bit about how it works. You've got sort of some lasers here, they scanning, putting stuff away.
Basically, everything is around our WMS, Modula
Yep.
WMS Premium. The system is quite simple. We have a shuttle inside moving vertical and horizontal, picking the box from the tower
Yep.
and presenting to you in order.
Okay.
We have a couple of visualing options, the graphic alphanumeric bar and the laser point.
Cool.
The graphic bar is telling you the coda item, the
Yeah.
quantity, and where to pick.
Right, so it's pointing here.
Paul,
Yeah.
please pick.
Yeah. So I can see that. Is that 3 of these I need?
Perfect. See, he never used the machine.
So intuitive.
And then we have the
Yeah.
put wall,
Yeah.
where with a simple scan of the code,
Yeah.
the put wall is preparing the order.
Oh, it needs the barcode up. There we go. So I need a sorting humanoid robot
Yeah.
here to just flick around the right way.
Correct.
Yeah.
Pretty much simple.
Yeah, cool. And tell me what's sort of changed in vertical storage systems in the last few years? Because these have kind of been around for a little while, the older style ones.
The
What's
old
new?
style of the vertical storage machine was the carousel.
Yeah.
Modula doesn't produce carousel, we produce only lift. The advantage that the carousel is a steel wheel racking.
Yeah.
The lift is an up and down lift, so more stability and speed.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have double presentation, so
Yeah.
the trays or the boxes
right.
are presenting
You got
in
two
two
sets,
level,
right? Yeah, right.
so one after each other.
So I could have 6 items. I need to pick 6 different
Exactly.
SKUs. You can drop all 6 at
Exactly.
once. I can just go dun, 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 dun,
Exactly.
grab them out.
No
yeah,
problem.
cool.
After each other.
Yeah, really nice. Cool. And you say manufacturing in Italy as well?
Manufacturing Italy,
Yeah.
China, and US.
Yeah,
so
right.
Italy is looking after for the European and North Africa market.
Yeah.
China APAC market, and the US for the US market.
Okay, and you sort of target markets for obviously for smaller parts or...
Mostly yes, for
Yeah.
this machine yes.
Yeah, cool. And what sort of
part.
payloads can you sort of carry in each
Every
of
box is 33 kilo, every trace is more than 500 kilo.
Yeah,
with
cool.
the Flexxbox. Then we have the heaviest machine in the world that
Yeah.
we are introducing today.
Yeah.
It's the lift that you can have also 1 ton per tray.
Right, 1 ton.
So that's the machine that is very common for us in the mining sector.
yeah.
That's why we take here at iMark in Sydney.
Right.
External bay for an industrial manipulator, double presentation,
Yeah.
1 ton per tray.
That's really interesting. So you could have
Yeah.
really massive fabricator parts, store it away, pull them on out
We
of
have we have motor.
yeah.
You can store also motor inside, part of a machine and everything you want.
Kind of looks like a bit of a vending machine. You've got bits and pieces of consumables you can use it
That
for
is
that.
more a vending machine, yes.
Yeah,
As you can see, totally safe because now you put the hands,
yeah.
you know, and easy to reset.
Right. What sort of dollars roughly can you talk about, you know, what kind of investment I'd need to buy one of these, or would you buy a few of them, or could you start with a small one, just one scale up, or?
Depends to the market. Australian market, the most common machine is the biggest one.
Yeah.
So the Modula also producing the biggest machine in the world, so
Yeah.
4.1.
Okay. Yeah, nice. And what's your biggest application area and your biggest market?
At the moment in Australia, manufacturing.
Yeah. Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, it's great to have you on the show, mate. Good to
Thank
talk
you.
to you.
I'm here with Maria from Slimstock. Maria, welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
All right, so we're an inventory software company
Yeah.
that deals with like inventory optimization. So anyone that has inventory and things like that, we help manage their software, making sure that they've got the right stock at the right place at the right time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, everyone, just about every stallholder we've bumped into is going, oh, we're an AI platform.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing in that space.
Yeah, of course. So if they've got inventory, we make sure that it's like all their ordering and things like that are all in the right place at the right time and things like that. So they've got all their purchasing and whatnot is all ready to go for them, and the decision making is taken out of the equation because our software helps to make the decisions for them.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
so you might argue it's a pretty saturated space, right? There's other products like Nextdock and Relax and so forth who do similar sorts of things.
Yeah.
What's the differentiator for what you guys do?
We work with basically any industry to help optimize their inventory and their decision making and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. So some of those others will be very sort of like retail specific or something.
Yeah.
So your value prop is you can handle pretty much any industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Now, we were chatting earlier about the amazing client list that you guys have got in terms of, you know, folks who are already on the platform.
Yep.
I'm imagining over time you've seen some, you know, client stories or whatever, and without necessarily sharing anything that's, you know, commercial in confidence, what are some of the results that your clients are seeing?
Yeah, so we see about a 50% efficiency rate go up, and oftentimes we see a reduction of waste for the client, so about 50% reduction in waste. Out of stocks, we receive about 50% reduction in out of stock, so they're having more of the stock that they're needing in their warehouses rather than unnecessary stock, and their revenue also goes up by about 5%.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
not only am I, you know, able to fulfill orders because I'm not running out of solution, but then I get revenue increase in the back of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Now, you were sharing with me earlier, you've got some pretty wild success stories. Who are some of your, like, who's your top 5 favourite clients?
Yeah, of course. So we've actually got Bid Food, PG Delights, we've got 2XU, we've got Sonopar, which has got Corey's Electrical and Lawrence and Hanson in it. We've got Adore Beauty, which is a fantastic brand, and King Chrome and things like that. So we work with a variety of different industries across the board.
Yeah, pretty demonstrative of the conversation we were having earlier around the ability to service multiple different industry verticals, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing. Well, it's been amazing having you on the show. Thanks very much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Adam, welcome back to Manufacturing Tech Australia.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Awesome. So 12 months ago, you and I were having a yarn at CeMAT Sydney.
That's right. It feels like it was a year ago
Yeah, fun flies, right?
when you're having fun.
Indeed. So, what's changed in 12 months for you, my friend?
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, and let's be honest, every person in this room talks to me about a very basic question. Is the strait open or closed? And what does that mean for our business? So fundamentally, uncertainty is everywhere. And for some people, that means that they're not sure what they're going to do next. I found that we've been having a lot of conversations with people about just how do you better predict demand in an environment like this, and it's obviously a hard thing to kind of understand. Yeah.
Interesting. I've been hearing not just how to predict demand, but how we're going to predict the availability of input stock and all sorts of weird stuff, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's fascinating because there are so many vendors and organizations in this room who've really engineered precision into all parts of their business. But having something like this going on just means they're going, we don't quite know exactly what to do next.
Yeah, cool. And what's changed for Sugar in that space?
For us, well, we got ourselves a new logo,
Yeah, I
a
noticed.
new name, but an increased level of focus, honestly. And it's a focus upon the types of organizations that we're actually meeting here. Because we're realizing many of them, they're sitting on absolute gold mines of data.
Yep.
And we're trying to help them bring that up. We're recognizing that in an uncertain environment, here is where we can help them. We can help them predict demand in a better sort of way because we can actually analyze that data in a way that they can actually action.
Yeah, cool. So, what's, I guess, the biggest pain point of all the things that have come up, what's the one that keeps recurring?
I think honestly, it's the fact that they are tolerating a level of inaccuracy in their forecast that they would never accept on the shop floor.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so then people come up to you and they go, oh yeah, you've got something interesting. What's the war stories they tell you of the things they've tried and got wrong?
I think the most common one is the people who believe that you can buy an off-the-shelf ERP system and assume that it's going to manage all of your customer relationships as well. And honestly, more power to the ERP vendors who kind of just take up that space, but there's an increasing new generation of them which are recognizing that there is a huge opportunity to differentiate by allowing CRM vendors to work alongside them. So a lot of the war stories are often, I bought this ERP, I'm using it as my CRM as well, my salespeople hate it. They don't like looking up customer information, we don't get useful insights, we're not able to actually make good decisions with it.
I find traditionally it's been the next challenge where you get to the sales team and you go, I hate this system. What I'm actually saying is, I just hate all systems and I just don't want to do the admin piece, right? Seems like the barrier to getting that information out of people's heads, out of their diaries, out of their notes, etc., is reducing. What are you guys doing in that?
Absolutely, it's a very true point, right? So for us, automatically ingesting things like emails, phone calls, transcripts, really lower the barrier to entry so that data is not what they're being hassled by. So sure, I want to be able to pick up my mobile and do a little bit of voice to text, sort of qualitative data entry straight into my mobile app. But outside of that, I want my software to do the rest of it for me, and beyond that, I don't want to only just be looking at some software and only getting what I put in. I want to be able to see insights and recommendations that are generated from other things so that if I'm going to look at my CRM, it's going to tell me something I didn't know, something I didn't realize that I should be focusing on. So when you change that equation, the what am I putting in, what am I getting out, when you get that ratio right, people stop complaining about their CRM at that point.
Cool. Mate, as always, it's amazing having you on the show. Thanks for being back.
Thanks so much, appreciate it.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
So Shane, that's a wrap for CeMAT 2026, mate.
Indeed.
What's your highlights?
Highlights. Well, both of us got to do a keynote. I mean, that was a bit of fun. I think the uplift that we're seeing in some of the software capabilities introducing AI. 12 months ago, it was we're an AI company. Now it's we've actually figured out how to make this work in a genuine use case that might actually add value to customers, which I think is a bit of a step up from what we saw previously. There's obviously a larger contingent of robotics and humanoids running around, which is a bit of fun. What's new for you, man?
Yeah, there actually were. There's quite a few humanoids running around, different use cases from sort of moving parts around and picking, packing, that kind of thing was pretty cool. I guess that embodied AI where these robots are now starting to get much, much smarter and actually, start to think about what they have to do instead of just doing that repetitive motion's been pretty cool. We can see here there's just so many different vendors of all different kinds of automated warehousing solutions, obviously this is the future. This is what we're going to see in the next coming years. This is going to proliferate into industry, into warehouses and manufacturing and logistics. So pretty exciting to see how that's going to play out, I guess.
Indeed. I hope you enjoyed the show. Plenty of different interviews for you to see, and we really encourage you to get down to this show next year. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to Manufacturing Tech Australia with Shane and Paul, recorded on the traditional lands of the Bunurong and Wurundjeri people. For more information, jump on the manufacturingtech.au website. Remember to hit the follow button to join us again next time as we continue to explore the intersection of manufacturing and technology.